Hi, it's Rusty from Wasatch Physical Therapy in Layton, Utah. Today I wanted to talk to you about Shockwave. Since Shockwave has come out, there's been a lot of confusion in the market about what true Shockwave is. There's a lot of cheaper versions of Shockwave out there, and so I wanted to talk to you today about how you can find out whether or not you're getting true Shockwave treatment or if you're getting the pretend shockwaves. So, as we know, Shockwave is no longer quote-unquote on the fringe of therapeutic effect and benefit. We know that it's proven, it's guideline and evidence-based and backed, and it's very much more in demand. The problem is with success, it brings a lot of confusion. So, as we know, the market's being flooded with a lot of different companies selling devices that are not shockwaves at all. They spin the language and they twist their marketing information to give you something that looks credible, but is not actually true shockwave. You deserve the truth, and you deserve real shockwaves with real outcomes and real healing. So I wanted to introduce 8 different things, 8 different questions that you can ask yourself or ask the provider that you're talking to, whether or not they provide true shockwave. We've had a lot of doctors and providers that have seen us offering shockwave, and they haven't been as excited about it. And I think in large part it's because that they've seen patients that have been promised shockwave but have not gotten true shockwave. So let's go over these 8 things that you can think about and ask the provider whether or not they're giving you true shockwave or if they're giving you something that pretends to be. So the first thing you need to ask the provider is, one, is it FDA Class 2 cleared, or is it only FDA registered? So any device has to be cleared by the FDA to be a medically necessary or efficient applicator or treatment. FDA cleared does not equal FDA registered. So without that register moniker, then it's just cleared. And so that means that the FDA classifies it as a therapeutic massager. It's not true shockwave. So you need to really pay attention to that. Class 2 clearance means that it's been deemed safe and effective in medical applications. So that's the number 1 question. Number 2, is it marketed as acoustic wave therapy or pressure wave therapy? These are monikers that a lot of places use to make it sound like they're actually giving you shockwave when they're not giving you shockwave. Again, it goes back to, is it classified and deemed as a therapeutic massage device when it's not registered? And that's what an acoustic or pressure wave therapy is. So these devices that are acoustic or pressure wave therapy, they actually provide mechanical pulses, and it's not true shockwave. This means that the treatment lacks depth, that requires more shocks, and it misleads you, the patient, into wrong terminology. And it confuses doctors into whether or not these things are effective in treating the things that we want to treat. Number 3 is, what type of shockwave technology is it? Is it electrohydraulic? Is it electromagnetic? Is it piezoelectric? Or is it radial? There are a lot of different questions or different types of units, and these can tell you whether or not they're true shockwave devices. So with our device, the SoftWave device, it is a true shockwave, and it provides a spherical wave with therapeutic volume. Now that probably throws you for a loop, but it's the most clinically validated design on the market to provide true shockwave treatment to a patient. Number 4 is, how broad is the treatment zone? So a lot of the acoustic or pressure waves or radial waves, that provides treatment to a very narrow spot or treatment area. It's very tiny. The nice thing about a shockwave, a soft wave shockwave, is that it's a broad surface or a broad focused treatment where you actually treat the width and depth of a soup can. So I'm treating that much tissue or area with this true shockwave device, which means that you're getting much more therapeutic value and much more bang for your buck, and you're treating the actual area with a true shockwave. Number 5 is, what published research exists with this device? Now this is where a lot of the devices get tricky, because they'll piggyback on true shockwave devices and their effectiveness, and they're not going to provide you any type of evidence from that specific machine that they're using. So you need to be really careful. If they say, yes, there's lots of evidence on this device, you need to make sure that it's coming from that device particularly, and they're not piggybacking on a SoftWave machine. So it's really important. Claims are basically meaningless without data, and you need to make sure that you find that data that's relevant to whatever condition you're seeking treatment for. So SoftWave actually has the largest outcomes registry in regenerative medicine. And so you just go on their website and you can find study after study on the effectiveness and the benefits of shockwave. So number 6 is it too good to be true pricing, or do the outcomes pretend to be a miracle cure? I think this is a really important thing. A lot of places will provide a very low initial treatment for a low cost, and you need to be careful and see how many treatments you actually need to receive the benefit. So basically what the shockwave does is it allows the inflammatory cascade and your own healing processes in your body to heal chronically damaged or diseased tissue so that it can get back to being healthy. And that process takes weeks. You can't pretend to have one treatment session and to find complete resolution of the issues that you have. And if somebody tells you that, then they're not being completely honest and accurate. So you need to make sure that the pricing and what your expectations are meet the actual studies that are out there or what your clinician thinks can happen realistically. So number 7 is, what do the patients actually experience? So when you come into a treatment with a Shockwave device, the treatment should be moderately uncomfortable, which means that you're not treating into an intense, highly painful situation, but that the patient can feel what's going on. The nice thing about the treatment is when you're receiving the treatment, if you're being effective, your discomfort during the treatment goes down, which is a very nice thing to see, that tissue in your body is responding to the treatment you're receiving. So it should not be excruciatingly painful. You should actually feel better after the treatment's done. And that way you know that you've treated that tissue out to a proper amount. Number 8 is, who is using the technology? Adoption is the strongest proof of trust, meaning that if somebody that you recognize that you like is using it, then chances are that it's probably a good thing. And you can see that the Mayo Clinic, the Cleveland Clinic, and a lot of professional sports teams are actually using the Shockwave device to the benefit of those that they treat. So I think it's really important to see how many people are using your particular device. Is it backed by evidence? And will it treat your issue to the best that it can in a clinically evidence-based way? So basically wanted to talk to you about that, give you some ideas about what to look for when somebody tells you that they have a shockwave device, whether or not it's true shockwave. Is it going to effectively treat what you need it to be treated? And then are you going to achieve the outcomes that you want in a relatively cost-effective manner? So if you have any questions about shockwave, you can always contact me at my clinic at 801-784-7373, or you can look on our website at wasatchtherapy.com. Look forward to meeting with you and talking with you and see if shockwave can be a benefit to you. Thanks.